Triangles congruent, I'm going to show you a process that I use and I help students kind of work through so that they don't get stuck when they're doing these two-column proofs. The first thing I like to do is kind of just look through the problem and kind of see what I can figure out from the givens first, then from the diagram second, then if I have to from previous steps, you can figure out some additional quantities that are congruent. So the first thing I do is take the givens. I say, okay, line LN bisects angle MLO and angle MNO. Okay, so let's look at that. So here's line LN. It's bisecting angle MLO. So it means it's cutting it in half. Bi means two, sec means cut. So it means that these two angles are congruent. So I like to mark it on the diagram. And then when I figure things out, I also like to make it a step in my proof. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Let's see, it's angle MLO. Whoops, angle MLO is congruent to angle OLN. And also, because it says that it's bisecting this angle as well, angle MNO, we know that this angle is congruent to this angle. So I'm going to combine that with step number 2 here. This is going to be angle MNO is congruent to angle ONL. Okay, MN. So you say that right? MNL, sorry, angle MNL is congruent to ONL. And the reason is the definition of angle bisector. I'm just abbreviating. Now notice I skipped step number 1. Step number 1, generally what students like to do, and I like to do this too, is just to put your givens first. So I'm just going to write for step number 1 given, and I'm just going to draw a line here. Okay, but you would put those givens first. Now sometimes students like to put it, as they need those particular givens later on in the proof so that it flows a little bit better. But most students when they're first starting off, they like to just get the givens out of the way by writing them first. Whatever you're trying to prove, that's going to be your last statement. We're just trying to fill in the in-between statements. Okay, now it looks like we figured out everything that we can from the givens. Now I like to go to the diagram. I like to say, well, is there anything that I can show is congruent between these two triangles from the diagram? Well, it looks like they're sharing this side. These two triangles have side LN in common. So I'm going to say for step number 3, LN is congruent to LN. And the reason for that is the reflexive property. So it's just like looking in a mirror. You're the same height in the mirror as you are in real life, meaning that LN is going to be the same in both triangles. It's going to be congruent to itself. Now you can see that these two triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. The side is in between the two angles. That's what they call the included side. So that's going to be our last step, what we're trying to prove. So triangle LMN is congruent to triangle LON. And again, you want to make sure that the corresponding vertices and the corresponding angles, the corresponding sides, etc., the ones that are congruent to each other are going to match up. The order is important. So it looks like LMN is congruent to LON. You can see if you fold that triangle, those corresponding vertices are going to match up. And again, that's going to be by the angle, side, angle triangle congruence theorem. So great job. If you want to see some more examples proving triangles congruent or just more examples with two-column proofs, check out the playlist I have right there for more practice with those. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I have hundreds of videos now on my channel helping you with all different aspects of math to make learning math a lot less stressful and to help you pass your class, boost your score, and go on to pursue whatever it is that you're studying. So great job. I'll see you in the next video.